Hello, everyone. Welcome to another great lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be talking about an ER, an emergency room.
Exactly. We're bringing you our very own ER drama here at English Pod.
Yeah, doctor shows are very popular with people, medical terms and all that stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to teach you some words that you might hear commonly in medical shows on TV or in movies. This is really common language in television.
Or even at a hospital, right?
Well, yeah, but let's hope our listeners don't have to face this.
Okay, so let's preview some words in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so what's our first word?
Okay, the first word is CPR.
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 So that's pretty easy. What does that mean?
Well, it's short for cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Okay.
If that means anything to you.
Well, cardio is related to the heart.
Uh-huh.
Pulmonary refers to the lungs.
Yep.
Resuscitation means to come back to life.
Yes. So basically CPR is, you know when someone stops breathing, you put your mouth on their mouth and you breathe inside their lungs?
Okay, to give them air.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So CPR.
That's CPR. Okay. So let's take a look at our next word. BP.
BP.
So BP is short for
Blood pressure.
blood pressure. That's
Yeah.
just the way that doctors use it in the emergency room.
Exactly. Pretty simple.
Okay, so blood pressure. And our last word, acute respiratory failure.
Acute respiratory failure.
So what is that exactly? That sounds complicated.
Basically, it's really serious that you stop breathing.
You stop breathing.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go into acute respiratory failure, then the doctor or somebody has to perform CPR.
Right.
All right, cool. Okay, so we've previewed these three great words. Now let's listen to our dialogue for the first time. It's going to be really fast and you're going to have a lot of drama in it, so don't worry if you don't understand everything.
Yeah, we're going to come back and teach you some of the important language.
Help! Are you a doctor? My poor little Frankie has just stopped breathing. Oh my gosh, help me. I tried to perform CPR, but I don't know if I could get any air into his lungs. Oh, Frankie!
Ellen, get him hooked up to a monitor. Somebody page Dr. Hauser. Get the patient hold still. I can't get a pulse. Okay, he's on the monitor. His BP's falling. He's flatlining.
No! Frankie! Doctor, do something!
Someone get her out of here. Get me the defibrillator. Okay, clear? Again, clear? Come on, damn it, I'm not letting go of you. Clear! I got a pulse.
Okay, what's happening?
Patient is in acute respiratory failure. I think we're going to have to intubate.
All right, tubes in. Bag him. Somebody give him 10 cc's shot of adrenaline. Let's go. People, move, move.
Doctor, oh, thank God. How is he?
We've managed to stabilize Frankie, but he's not out of the woods yet. He's still in critical condition. We're moving him to intensive care, but...
Doctor, just do whatever it takes. I just want my little Frankie to be okay. I couldn't imagine life without my little hamster.
Wow, so much drama over a little hamster.
Yeah, a little pet, hey?
A little pet, the little hamster.
Well, you know what? I can relate to this owner, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later.
Yeah, I know you have a really good story about this.
Yeah, but in the meantime, let's look at some great language in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so let's take a look at our first word. Intubate.
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 So this is a medical procedure.
Exactly. When a patient can't breathe properly, sometimes the doctor takes a long tube and puts it into their mouth and down their pipes, I guess, down their breathing tube.
Right.
So that they can breathe better.
Okay, so that's to intubate.
Yes.
Okay, so once they've intubated the patient, they start to bag him.
Yeah, bag him.
Bag him.
Bag him.
Does that mean they like put a bag over the person's head or something?
No. So there's a bag attached to this intubation tube, and you squeeze it to put air into the lungs.
Okay, so you squeeze this bag and it puts air
Yeah.
through the tube.
I think this is just medical slang.
Yeah, I guess backhand.
Yeah, but you hear it all the time on TV, so it's
Right.
important our listeners know it.
Okay. Let's look at our next word. Critical condition.
Critical condition.
Critical condition.
The patient's in critical condition.
This condition means it's serious.
Right. If a patient is in critical condition, they're either really, really hurt or really, really sick, and they could die pretty soon.
Okay. So you don't want to be in critical condition.
No.
Let's take a look at our next word. Stabilize.
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 So when the doctors stabilize a patient, they take that patient out of danger.
Exactly. When a patient is stabilized, they probably won't die in 5 minutes.
Okay.
But they could still be really sick. They could be in critical condition, right?
But it's under control.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stabilize. Let's look at our last word. ICU.
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 Intensive care unit.
Okay, that's what it means. Intensive care unit.
Yep.
So that's the place where patients who are in critical condition are taken.
Right.
So what's the difference between an ICU and a regular room?
Well, I don't know. I've never been in one. But I think like patients are monitored regularly. And I think there's, maybe there are more nurses and fewer patients. There's just a higher level of care.
A higher level of care.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's time for us to listen to our dialogue again. Now try to catch all of these medical terms that we've just talked about, and then we'll come back and explain a few phrases.
Help! Are you a doctor? My poor little Frankie has just stopped breathing. Oh my gosh, help me. I tried to perform CPR, but I don't know if I could get any air into his lungs. Oh, Frankie.
Ellen, get him hooked up to a monitor. Somebody page Dr. Hauser. Get the patient hold still. I can't get a pulse. Okay, he's on the monitor. His BP's falling. He's flatlining.
No! Frankie! Doctor, do something!
Someone get her out of here. Get me the defibrillator. Okay, clear? Again, clear? Come on, damn it, I'm not letting go of you. Clear! I've got a pulse.
Okay, what's happening?
The patient is in acute respiratory failure. I think we're going to have to intubate.
All right, tubes in. Bag him. Somebody give him 10 cc's shot of adrenaline. Let's go. People, move, move.
Doctor, oh, thank God. How is he?
We've managed to stabilize Frankie, but he's not out of the woods yet. He's still in critical condition. We're moving him to intensive care, but...
Doctor, just do whatever it takes. I just want my little Frankie to be okay. I couldn't imagine life without my little hamster.
Okay, so there are some really good phrasal verbs in this dialogue.
Yeah, a couple of good phrasal verbs.
Okay, so let's take a look at these phrasal verbs in putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, so what's our first phrasal verb today?
Hook up.
Hook up.
Hook up.
So to hook up.
So when we talk about hooking something up, we are usually talking about electronics, right, Marco?
Yeah, you usually hook up your TV or
Yeah.
your computer.
Yeah.
So why don't we listen to some examples of how we would use hook up?
Example 1.
I finally got a Nintendo Wii. Come on, help me hook it up to the TV.
Example 2.
I don't know how to hook up this new DVD player. Can you help me?
Example 3.
I just hooked up my new HD TV. Want to come over and watch a movie?
Great. So you can see that there are a few different variations of this pattern here with the word hook up because it's a phrasal verb.
Exactly.
And I think the same patterns can apply to our next phrasal verb.
Hold still.
Hold still.
Hold still.
Hold still.
So the doctor needed the patient to hold still.
Right. To stop moving.
Stop moving, exactly. Okay, let's listen to some more examples of hold still because, again, it's a really great phrasal verb that you can change up a little bit.
Example 1.
If you don't hold still, I can't see if you have something in your eye.
Example 2.
Hold still while she cuts your hair, or else she might make a mistake.
Example 3.
Hold still, you have a bee on your back.
Okay, hold still. Great word.
Yep. All right, one final phrase for you. Out of the woods.
Out of the woods.
Out of the woods.
Out of the woods.
So when someone's out of the woods, they're
Free from danger.
safe.
Okay, safe.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of the woods.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
free. I'm safe.
I guess there are two variants of this phrase. We can say, I'm out of the woods, or we're out of the woods, or I guess we're not out of the woods yet.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, okay. Out of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now it's time for us to listen to our dialogue again. And when we come back, Eric is going to tell us about her ER story.
Help! Are you a doctor? My poor little Frankie has just stopped breathing. Oh my gosh, help me. I tried to perform CPR, but I don't know if I could get any air into his lungs. Oh, Frankie.
Ellen, get him hooked up to a monitor. Somebody page Dr. Hauser. Get the patient to hold still. I can't get a pulse. Okay, he's on the monitor. His BP's falling. He's flatlining.
No! Frankie! Doctor, do something!
Someone get her out of here. Get me the defibrillator. Okay, clear? Again, clear? Come on, damn it, I'm not letting go of you. Clear! I got a pulse.
Okay, what's happening?
Patient is in acute respiratory failure. I think we're going to have to intubate.
All right, tubes in. Bag him. Somebody give him 10 cc's shot of adrenaline. Let's go. People, move, move.
Doctor, oh, thank God. How is he?
We've managed to stabilize Frankie, but he's not out of the woods yet. He's still in critical condition. We're moving him to intensive care, but...
Doctor, just do whatever it takes. I just want my little Frankie to be okay. I couldn't imagine life without my little hamster.
Okay, Erica, so what happened? What emergency did you have?
Well, it was with my cat.
Your cat.
Yes, I had some people over for dinner, and it was maybe 1:30 in the morning, and I went downstairs to let them out and show them where the taxis were. And then I came up and I saw that the cat was gone, and it turned out that the cat fell out of the window.
Fell out of the window.
Yeah.
All right, but our listeners have to know, what story or what floor do you live on?
The 20th floor.
The 20th.
Yeah, so this is really dangerous, right?
That's really high up.
Yeah. So I went outside and I was calling for my cat, and I was like, Mr. Finn, where are you?
How did you know he fell out?
I just knew.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mother's instinct.
I guess so. And so he was calling back to me, and so I picked him up and brought him to the house, and we had to bring him to the vet, and it was 2:30, 3 in the morning at this time, and the vet was like not very happy that we woke him up out of bed.
But that was a really good emergency, though.
Yeah. So anyway, we brought him to the vet. He was in critical condition for a couple of days, and then we had to keep him in the vet's ICU for about a week. He broke his back. He broke two of his legs.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and then at home on bed rest for another 3 weeks.
Wow.
But now he's good as new.
Good as new.
Yeah.
He used up one of his 7 lives.
Yes.
9 lives.
Nine. Yeah. I think maybe 8 of his 9
8.
lives.
He's only got 1 left.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting story. I guess that's the inspiration under this dialogue.
Exactly. Sometimes we Anglos really treat our cats and our hamsters and our dogs like they're our children.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Mr. Finn is okay and he's walking and good as new.
Yep, good as new.
So maybe our users have some stories about their pets
Yes.
being taken to the hospital.
I want to hear.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I've never had a pet actually break a leg or anything, so don't have any pet stories this time.
I'm Tom, and I'm happy you're here. In this episode, I speak slowly. I use clear, simple words. And I repeat ideas so you can shadow my voice, practice your speaking, and build your confidence step by step. Today, we will talk about how to describe your day in English. Not just short sentences, but full ideas. What do you do in the morning? What happens in your afternoon? What is your evening routine like? By the end of this episode, you will be able to talk about your day in English using clear and natural sentences. Let's begin. Why is it important to practice talking about your day in English? It's important because your day is real. It's something that happens to you every day. You know it well. You don't need to search for words or ideas. You don't need to talk about history, science, or politics. You just need to talk about your life. You can say what time you wake up, what you eat for breakfast. You can say if you go to work or stay at home. You can say how you feel, tired, busy, happy, or relaxed. And here's the best part. When you describe your own day, you're practicing real English, useful English, English that you can use with other people in real life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to try. When you talk about your day, you begin to think in English. You begin to speak more naturally. You use simple, complete sentences. You stop translating in your head. And you feel more confident when speaking. Let's take an example. Imagine you are meeting someone new. They ask, "What did you do today?" What did you do today? If you've practiced talking about your day before, you can answer. You can say, "I woke up at 7. I went to work. I had coffee and answered emails. In the evening, I made dinner and watched TV." Now, that's a full conversation. That's real communication. And that is your goal. Even if you are alone, even if you're not in an English class, even if you are shy, you can still practice speaking English by talking about your day. So, whenever you don't know what to say, start with something simple. What did I do today? What time did I wake up? What did I eat? Where did I go? What did I do in the evening? These are good questions. They help you remember vocabulary. They help you build strong English habits. They help you think in full sentences without stress. You can do this in the morning to talk about yesterday. You can do this in the evening to review today. You can even record yourself and listen back. The key is to keep it simple. Use the English you know. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes. 1 sentence today, 2 sentences tomorrow, a whole story next week. So today, Let's build that skill together, step by step, word by word, one real sentence at a time. Okay, let's start at the beginning of the day, the morning. Morning is a very important part of your day. It sets the mood. It gives you energy. And it's a perfect time to speak and think in English, even for a few minutes. Now, let's practice some simple morning sentences together. Repeat each one slowly, just like shadowing. Let's go. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Now you repeat. Sometimes I wake up earlier, around 6:30, when I have a lot to do. Now you repeat. If I sleep late, I feel tired the next morning. I stay in bed for a few minutes and think about my day. I like to take a deep breath and stretch my arms and legs. Then I sit up slowly and get out of bed. I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth. I brush slowly and carefully for 2 minutes. Then I wash my face with cold water. It helps me feel awake. Sometimes I take a quick shower, especially if I feel sleepy. When I shower, I like to play soft music or listen to English audio. After my shower, I dry off and put on my clothes. I try to wear something clean and comfortable. Sometimes I wear jeans and a t-shirt. If I have a meeting or class, I wear something more formal. Next, I go to the kitchen and prepare my breakfast. I usually eat something simple, like toast, eggs, and fruit. Sometimes I have cereal with milk and a banana. If I have more time, I make an omelette or oatmeal. I like to eat slowly so I can enjoy my food. I drink coffee most mornings. Sometimes I drink green tea because it feels light and fresh. While eating, I sometimes watch a short video or check the news. Other days, I just enjoy the quiet and listen to birds outside. Before I leave the house, I check my phone. I look at the time and read my messages. I check my calendar to see if I have any meetings or appointments. I pack my bag with everything I need: my phone, notebook, keys, and water bottle. Then I put on my shoes and go out the door. Okay, let's shadow a story. My morning routine. In this part, I will tell you a short story about my morning. You can listen, then shadow each sense. You can pause after each line to repeat it slowly. Are you ready? Let's begin. In the morning, I usually wake up at around 7 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up earlier if I have a lot of things to do. I lie in bed for a few minutes and think about the day ahead. I stretch my arms, yawn a little, and slowly get up. Then I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth for 2 full minutes. After that, I wash my face with cold water. It really helps me wake up. If I feel sleepy, I take a warm shower. I often listen to relaxing music while I shower. It helps me feel more calm and focused. After the shower, I put on clean clothes and check my hair in the mirror. Next, I go into the kitchen and start making breakfast. I usually eat 2 pieces of toast with butter and jam, and sometimes I add a boiled egg. I drink a large cup of coffee. That's very important to me in the morning. While eating, I sit by the window and look outside. Sometimes I hear birds singing, and I enjoy the peaceful moment. Before I leave the house, I check my phone. I look at the time, my to-do list, and my schedule for the day. Then I prepare my bag. I make sure I have everything: my phone, my wallet, my notebook, and sometimes a snack. Finally, I put on my jacket and shoes, open the door, and step outside to begin my day. Okay, let's say a few final practice sentences together. Again, you can repeat right after me. Every morning is a little different, but I try to follow a good routine. When I start my day with English, I feel more focused. I'm proud of my progress, and I will keep going. Now let's move to the afternoon, the middle part of the day. Many people are busy in the afternoon. Some people go to work, some go to school, some stay home and take care of the house or family. Whatever you do, the afternoon is a good time to use English. Even if you're busy, you can still listen. You can still repeat. You can still practice, even for just 5 or 10 minutes. Let's learn some common sentences together. Try to repeat after me, slowly and clearly. After lunch, I go back to work. Sometimes I feel a little sleepy after I eat. I check my emails and answer the important ones first. I often read messages from coworkers or classmates. I usually have 1 or 2 meetings in the afternoon. Sometimes I meet with a client or my manager to talk about tasks. If I work from home, I sit at my desk and open my laptop. I type reports or prepare presentations. I also look at my calendar to see what I need to do next. I like to keep my desk clean and organized. It helps me think clearly. I usually take a short break around 3 o'clock. I make a cup of tea or drink some water. Sometimes I eat a small snack, like fruit or a biscuit. If I have time, I go for a short walk to get fresh air. Even 10 minutes outside helps me feel better. If the weather is nice, I walk around the block or sit in the sun. When I have free time in the afternoon, I study English. Sometimes I listen to a podcast while I take a walk. Other times, I read a short article or a story online. I also watch slow English videos to help with listening. I repeat short phrases out loud to practice speaking. Shadowing helps me speak more fluently and clearly. Before I finish work, I write down what I did. This helps me stay organized and ready for the next day. Sometimes I write one new word I learned today. I like to review my English notebook before I stop for the day. I will now tell you a story about my afternoon. You can listen, pause, and repeat after me. Try to copy my rhythm and tone. This is a great way to shadow and learn. After lunch, I usually go back to my desk to continue working. I check my emails and write a to-do list for the afternoon. I often have a video meeting with my team. We talk about what we finished in the morning and what we will do next. The meetings are usually short, about 30 minutes. After the meeting, I take a short break. I walk to the kitchen and make a cup of tea or black coffee. I drink slowly while standing near the window. Sometimes I step outside for some fresh air. If I have free time, I use it to study English. I usually listen to a podcast like this one or read a short story. Sometimes I watch a video where the speaker talks slowly. I pause the video and repeat the sentences. This is shadowing. It helps me speak more naturally and understand better. Before I stop working for the day, I write down a short summary of what I did. I also write one sentence in English to describe how I feel. For example, I finished all my work today and I feel proud. I didn't study much today, but I will try again tomorrow. This helps me reflect and stay motivated. Okay, now it's your turn. You can pause this episode for a moment. Try to talk about your afternoon, just like I did. What do you usually do after lunch? Do you go to work? Do you go to class? Do you stay at home and rest or study? Use short sentences. It's okay if it's just 3 or 4 lines. The goal is to speak, not to be perfect. Okay, let's try some sentence starters together to help you speak. I will say the beginning of the sentences, and you try to complete them, okay? In the afternoon, I usually... very good. After lunch, I like to... Good job. Sometimes I feel... Well done. I usually take a break at... Perfect. Before the afternoon ends, I... Very good. Okay. The evening and night. Evening is a special time. A time to relax and review the day. Let's repeat some useful sentences. I come home at 6 o'clock in the evening. I take off my shoes and sit down for a few minutes to rest. I sometimes watch the news or listen to music to relax. I cook dinner or I order food if I feel tired. I eat dinner at the table with my family. We talk about our day and share stories. After dinner, I clean the kitchen and wash the dishes. Sometimes, I go for a short walk after dinner. Before bed, I read a book or listen to calming music. I take a shower and brush my teeth. I go to bed around 10:30 or 11. Okay, you have just listened to my full routine. Now I want you to speak about your day. Here's how you can do it. First, think about your day. What time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? Do you work, study, take care of the house? What do you do in the afternoon? What does your evening look like? What do you do before bed? You can speak about today, or you can talk about a typical day, a normal day. Great work today. You listened to a fall diary routine. You practiced new vocabulary. You repeated full sentences. And most importantly, you tried to speak in English. This is real progress. You're not just studying English. You are using English. You are living in English, one sentence at a time. Keep building your confidence. Keep practicing your daily routine until it feels easy. Now, come back to this episode often. Listen again, shadow again, and each time add more to your story.
Hi, I'm Olivia. Today, I want to share with you about a day in my lovely family's life. First, meet my dad. He's often in our garden looking after colorful flowers. Every flower has a name, and Dad knows them all. He loves teaching me about them. Here is my mom. She's often singing a happy tune while she knits. She's the one who makes sure we have warm sweaters for the cold winter days. Do you know? They met at a music concert a long time ago and have been together ever since. Then there's my elder brother, Jake. If he's not in school, he's in the garage. He loves fixing things, especially his bicycle. I'm his younger sister, and he's always showing me how to ride safely. We often race each other around the block, laughing as we go. Now, let's not forget my loving grandparents. They have a special spot in the living room where they love doing crossword puzzles. They have so many memories and stories. They often talk about the days they danced at local festivals. We love looking at their old happy photos where they wear bright, colorful clothes. Wait, there's more. My twin cousins, Lucy and Luna, are always a bundle of joy. They are always playing, laughing, and running around. Their parents, my dear uncle and aunt, often share tales of their latest travels. On each visit, they surprise us with interesting little gifts from places they've been. Lunchtime is special. We all gather, enjoy Mom's delicious pies, and chat about everything. Sometimes, for a treat, Dad makes a sweet lemonade, which Jake and I absolutely love. As the evening comes and the stars begin to shine, we gather outside. We talk, laugh, and enjoy being together. My family is all about love, fun, and precious moments.
Welcome, my friends. I hope you all are doing well. Today, I have something truly special for you. We all know that English is the most important language in the world. If you want a good job, you should know English. If you want to travel the world, you should learn English. If you want to start a business, English will help you connect with international clients. Even if you just want to watch movies, listen to music, or scroll through social media, English is everywhere. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why is English the global language? What makes it so special? How did one language dominate the entire world while thousands of others faded into the background? And most importantly, how can English change your life? Today, we are going to uncover the shocking truth behind why English became the most powerful language in the world. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an important lesson like this one. Now let's start with the real reasons behind English's global domination. Let's go back in time. 1,500 years ago. English was not the global language. In fact, it was just a local language spoken by a few small groups of people in England. At that time, powerful languages were Latin, Greek, Chinese, and Arabic. These were the languages of empires, trade, and religion. English was considered a simple, unimportant language spoken only by people in a small island nation. So, how did it go from a small language to the #1 language in the world? The answer lies in history, power, and globalization. Now imagine this. It's the 1600s, and England is a growing power. But England is not the biggest country in the world. Other empires like Spain and France are much stronger. But England had a secret weapon. Its navy. The British built one of the strongest navies in history. They started traveling, conquering, and colonizing different parts of the world. Soon, India, Africa, Australia, and parts of America were under British control. With British rule came the English language. Here's the key part. Even after these countries gained independence, English remained the language of government, business, and education. That's why even today, India, Nigeria, and South Africa still use English as an official language. Now that we understand how the British Empire spread English across the world, let's move to the next chapter of this story. Because even though the British helped English reach many countries, that alone was not enough to make it the world's dominant language. There was another major event that changed everything, something even bigger than the British Empire. And that event was the rise of the United States of America. The year was 1945. The world had just gone through one of the deadliest conflicts in history, World War II. Many of the most powerful countries like Britain, Germany, and France were left in ruins. Their economies were broken, their cities were destroyed, and they had lost millions of people in the war. But there was one country that became stronger than ever, the United States. Unlike Europe, America did not suffer massive destruction on its land. Instead, its economy had grown even more powerful during the war. It had the strongest industries, the most advanced technology, and the most stable government. And with great power comes great influence. After the war, America started leading the world in almost every area: politics, economics, science, entertainment, and technology. And with America's rise came the second great wave of English dominance. Let's break it down. 1. The dollar became the world's money. One of the biggest reasons English became so dominant was because of money. After World War II, the American dollar became the most powerful currency in the world. Almost every major country started using the dollar for international trade, banking, and business. Think about this. When countries buy oil, they pay in dollars. When businesses trade across borders, they use dollars. When people invest in global markets, they rely on the American financial system. And because money and business go hand in hand, the language of business became English. Even today, if you want to work for an international company, negotiate deals, or start a global business, you must know English. 2. America created modern entertainment and pop culture. The second major factor that made English so powerful was Hollywood and the music industry. During the 20th century, America became the world's entertainment leader. Before this, people around the world enjoyed local movies, music, and literature in their own languages. But after the war, Hollywood movies and American music started dominating the entire world. The biggest films were made in Hollywood. The most famous music artists were from America. The most popular TV shows were in English. As a result, more and more people started watching movies in English, listening to English songs, and dreaming of speaking English like their favorite stars. Even today, the most successful music albums, Netflix shows, and the Hollywood blockbusters are in English. And because people love entertainment, they naturally learn English without even realizing it. 3. The internet was built in English. Imagine a world without the internet. Today, we use it for everything: learning, working, socializing, shopping, and even entertainment. But here's the thing. When the internet was created, almost everything was in English. The first websites were in English. The biggest tech companies, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, were American. The programming languages that power the internet were also written in English. Because of this, English became the dominant language of the online world. Even today, most websites are in English. Many software programs require knowledge of English. If you want to succeed in the digital age, you must understand English. This means that whether you are studying, doing business, or just using social media, English is everywhere. 4. English became the language of science and innovation. One of the most important reasons English became the most powerful language is because it became the language of science, medicine, and technology. Think about this. The most important scientific research is published in English. The biggest universities in the world teach in English. The most advanced medical discoveries are shared in English. The most successful tech companies operate in English. If you are a scientist, doctor, or engineer, and you want to share your work with the world, you must do it in English. This is why students and professionals from countries like China, India, Brazil, and Russia all study English. They know that if they want to be part of global progress, they must speak the global language. 5. America's military and political influence. English also became powerful because of America's military and political influence. After World War II, America became the world's most powerful country, not just in business and technology, but also in military strength and politics. The United Nations, the most important global organization, uses English as one of its main languages. The world's most powerful military alliance, NATO, operates in English. When world leaders meet for international summits, they often speak English. In short, if you want to participate in global politics, you need to understand English. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. English is not the most spoken language in the world. Mandarin Chinese has more native speakers. Spanish is spoken across many countries, but English is the most useful and powerful language in human history. Why? Because of money, business, entertainment, the internet, science, and global politics. If you know English, you can get better job opportunities anywhere in the world, travel easily, and communicate with people from different countries. Learn new skills faster because most educational content is in English. Start an international business and reach more customers. Enjoy global entertainment without waiting for translations. This is why English is not just a language. It's a global skill. We explored how English became the most powerful language in the world. We saw how the British Empire spread it to different continents, and how America's rise made it essential in business, science, entertainment, and technology. But now, we have a big question to answer. Will English remain the global language forever? Or could another language like Chinese, Spanish, or even artificial intelligence AI translations replace it? Now we will go deep into this topic and break it down step by step in a way that's super easy to understand. By the end, you'll have a clear idea of what the future of the English language might look like. So, let's get started. Why English is still getting stronger. Even though many people ask if English will lose its power, the reality is that English is not just staying strong, it's growing stronger. Let's look at some facts that prove this. A. More people are learning English than ever before. Did you know that right now, more than 1.5 billion people around the world are learning English? That's almost 20% of the entire world's population. Even countries where English is not an official language, like China, Russia, Brazil, and Germany, are making English a mandatory subject in schools. Why? Because parents, students, and professionals all understand one thing. If you know English, you have better opportunities. You can get better jobs. You can study at the world's best universities. You can communicate with anyone around the world. Even in small villages in Africa or remote towns in Asia, English learning centers are opening every day. This means that English is not just a language, it has become a life skill. And this demand is still increasing every single year. B. The digital world runs on English. We live in a world that is completely connected by the internet, technology, and social media. And guess what? The internet was built in English. More than 50% of websites on the internet are in English. Most software programming languages are based on English words. If you want to work in technology, AI, coding, or data science, you must know English. Even social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube use English as their primary language. For example, when a new trend starts on social media, it usually starts in English. Most viral videos, memes, and global discussions are in English. Even when people from non-English speaking countries post content, they often use English hashtags to reach a bigger audience. This means that English is not just a language, it is a digital necessity. And in today's world, if something is strong in the digital space, it is strong in the real world too. This is why millions of people in countries like India, China, and Brazil spend years improving their English just to get better jobs. Because in business, knowing English means you have access to higher salaries, international clients, and career growth. So, if a language helps people make money, will they stop learning it? Of course not, and that's another reason why English is still getting stronger. Now, let's discuss the second big question. Could another language take over English as the global language? The answer is, it's possible, but very difficult. Let's look at some of the most powerful languages in the world and see if they could ever replace English. Chinese, Mandarin, the most spoken language. Chinese has more than 1.3 billion native speakers, making it the most spoken language in the world. And China is one of the fastest growing economies with a lot of influence in global trade, manufacturing, and technology. So, could Mandarin replace English? Here's the problem. Chinese is very difficult to learn. It has thousands of characters instead of an alphabet. Grammar and pronunciation are complex. Even if you learn to write Chinese, speaking it fluently is another challenge. China itself encourages English learning. Many Chinese students and professionals prefer to learn English instead of spreading Mandarin worldwide. For these reasons, Mandarin is powerful but unlikely to replace English. Spanish, the second most spoken language. Spanish is spoken by more than 500 million people and is the official language of over 20 countries. Could Spanish become the next global language? Here's the problem. Spanish is mostly spoken in Latin America and Spain. Outside these regions, it is not widely used. Many Spanish-speaking countries themselves prioritize English for business and education. The digital and tech world is still dominated by English. So, while Spanish is growing, it is not strong enough to replace English globally. Artificial intelligence, AI, and automatic translation. Some people argue that in the future, AI-powered translation will make language learning unnecessary. For example, Google Translate is improving. AI tools can now provide real-time voice translation. In the future, people might just wear AI-powered earbuds that instantly translate any language. So, could AI remove the need for English? Not exactly. Here's why. AI translation is still not perfect. Business leaders, scientists, and professionals will still prefer to communicate directly in one common language. English is already deeply integrated into global culture, business, and education. This means that even if AI translation improves, English will remain the dominant global language. So, what does all this mean for the future? Here's what we can expect. English will continue to grow. More people will learn it. More universities will teach in English, and more businesses will require it. English might evolve. In the future, we may see simpler English dialects that make it easier for global learners. Other languages will remain important. Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic will still be powerful, but they won't replace English globally. AI will assist, but not replace English. Technology will make communication easier, but English will still be essential for jobs, business, and education. So, if you are learning English, you are making one of the best investments in your future. Because no matter how the world changes, English will remain the language of opportunity, success, and global connection. We have already discussed why English is the global language and why it is not going away anytime soon. But now, we are going to talk about something even bigger. How English can change your life. Because the truth is, English is not just a language. English is a tool. English is power. English is freedom. And if you truly understand this, if you truly take this seriously, it can completely transform your future. So let's start from the very beginning. Before we talk about how English can change your life, let's imagine something. What if you didn't know English? Let's say you only speak your native language. At first, it might not seem like a big problem. But then reality hits. You want to watch a movie, but the best ones are in English. You want to read a book, but the most powerful books are in English. You go online to learn a skill, but most tutorials are in English. You apply for a job, but they say, English required. You travel to another country, but no one understands your language. You want to do business, but your clients speak English. Slowly, you start to realize something very important. Without English, the world feels smaller. Your opportunities become limited. Your knowledge becomes restricted. And worst of all, you feel stuck. Because no matter how talented, skilled, or hardworking you are, if you don't speak English, the world will not listen to you. That is the reality. But here's the good news. You can change this. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Now let's flip the story. Let's imagine a different version of your life. One where you speak English fluently. What happens then? A. You get better job. Opportunities. If you know English, your career changes completely. You can apply for high-paying jobs in multinational companies. You can work remotely for companies in the USA, UK, or Canada. You can easily get promoted because you can communicate with international clients. If you are a business owner, you can sell to customers worldwide. And do you know what's crazy? Many people work for years in their own country, making very little money. But someone who learns English can double or even triple their income, just because they now have access to better jobs. This is why in many countries, people spend years studying engineering, medicine, or law. But in the end, they don't get jobs because they don't speak English. Meanwhile, someone who speaks fluent English can get a high-paying remote job with just a laptop and an internet connection. That is the power of English. B. You can travel the world without fear. Have you ever wanted to travel to Paris, New York, London, Dubai, or Tokyo? Have you ever wanted to visit a new country, explore new cultures, and meet new people? Well, here's a fact. English is the language of travel. When you land at an airport, all the signs are in English. When you check into a hotel, the staff speaks English. If you get lost, you can ask for help in English. No matter where you go in the world, someone will understand you if you speak English. But if you don't know English, traveling becomes stressful, confusing, and difficult. So if you want the freedom to explore the world without fear, English is your passport. You can learn anything you want. Let me ask you a question. What is your biggest dream? Do you want to become a doctor, engineer, designer, or artist? Do you want to start a business and become your own boss? Do you want to become a successful YouTuber, influencer, or writer? No matter what your dream is, there is one thing you need: knowledge. And guess where 90% of the world's knowledge is stored? In English. Think about it. The best universities in the world teach in English. The best self-improvement books are written in English. The best online courses and tutorials are in English. If you don't know English, you miss out on all of this knowledge. But if you do, you can learn anything. You can develop any skill. You can change your life. And that brings us to our final point. At the end of the day, learning English is not just about words and grammar. It's about power. It's about freedom. When you speak English fluently, you no longer feel trapped in your country, in your job, or in your limitations. Instead, you feel confident, strong, and independent. You can communicate with anyone in the world. You can make money from anywhere. You can learn, grow, and achieve your dreams. And that is why millions of people around the world are working hard every day to improve their English. Because they know that English is not just a language, it is a life-changing skill. And now, it's your turn. My friends, we have reached the end of this journey. But before we finish, I want to leave you with a challenge. Don't just listen to this. Take action. Start practicing English every single day. Read, listen, speak, and write in English as much as you can. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Keep going. And most importantly, never give up. Because one day in the future, you will look back and realize learning English was the best decision of your life. And when that day comes, you will thank yourself for never giving up. So go out there and make it happen. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I have many more powerful lessons coming your way. Let's learn, grow, and change our lives together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.